What is going on, beautiful people? In today's live stream, I'm going to be riding it solo here. Julian is on a call, but I want to basically take this live stream to show you guys how you can sell $20,000 per month generating your own leads. So I have a little PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to be rolling through with you guys today, which I'm going to be pulling up right here. But basically, we're going to do it a little bit differently. Normally, we kind of have like a freestyle here on these live streams. But today, I'm going to be walking you guys through this setup PowerPoint that we have. So just give me 1 sec while I get this pulled up here. And as I'm doing that, as you guys are jumping in, just drop in your name and where you are calling in from, or where you're joining the live stream from, I guess I should say. And we will go ahead and dive right into it in just a sec. I'm just getting this pulled up here for you guys. And again, today we're going to be talking about how to sell $20,000 per month without buying leads. So generating your own leads. Alrighty, ladies and gents, let's get this pulled up here. For some reason, there's kind of an issue on my end. Let's see. So we got somebody that just jumped on here. Drop in the chat where you're calling in from. And I'm going to pull this PowerPoint up and we're going to dive right on in. Alrighty. And again, today we're going to be talking about how to write $20,000 per month with generating your own leads. Let me share my screen and we are going to dive right into it, ladies and gents. All right, beautiful. So again, as you guys are jumping in, drop in the chat where you're calling in from so I can give you a little shout out. But basically, in this live stream, we're going to be talking about how you can generate your own life insurance leads, the book on your calendar, and buy, right? So there's 3 main things I'm going to be covering in this training, okay? The first thing is how to create winning Facebook ads, right? Then I'm going to talk about how to set up the lead generation funnel. This is essentially what allows you to get pre-booked appointments, auto-booked appointments, if you will. And then I'm going to be talking about how you can scale this exact system to 20,000 per month and beyond. Cool? So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Now, first and foremost, why should you pay attention to this? How do you know that this thing actually works? Blah, 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 right? Well, these are screenshots of our agency, right? These are policies that we have personally sold. I blurred out the names and everything there so you guys can't steal or contact your clients, right? But this is over a 6-month period, and this is $312,000 in approved annual premium using these methods that I'm going to show you. So in 6 months' time, we wrote $312K in approved annual premium without buying a single lead, solely using Facebook ads and lead generation, right? So if you're buying leads, you're doing all that kind of stuff, I'm going to show you how to do all of this without buying any leads, okay? This is a screenshot. If you're unfamiliar with Facebook ads, this is a screenshot of the Facebook ad dashboard. You can see right here, we spent $58,000 on ads and we got over 6,000 leads for an average cost of $6.69 each. So if you're paying like $12 a lead, $15 a lead, $20 a lead, we're getting leads for under $7 on this campaign, right? Not only that, because you may be watching this and you're saying, cool, cheap leads, that's great, but are these people that are actually interested? Is there any intent? Yes, these are all comments on our ads of people saying, I'm interested, need more info, send me more info, which, I mean, you don't have to be a genius to tell that these are people that want information on life insurance, right? So these were all comments on the actual ads, right? Here's some people that have seen success using this same system. I'm about to show you guys. This is Ben. He wrote 42,000 in approved annual premium only on self-gen leads. Didn't buy a single lead. Nate, another agent we work with, he wrote 14K on only $1,000 in lead spend. I think last week he wrote $8,000 in 1 week on $600 in lead spend. And so far this month, he's on pace to write over 30 grand this month. So pretty cool stuff there. You guys may have seen Johnny Nitafan on YouTube. We taught him how to generate Facebook leads so he doesn't buy leads anymore. Wrote 20K AP on only 1,500 in leads. And I was mentioning self-booked appointments, auto-booked appointments. Here's some screenshots you can see as well that our clients have gotten. These are all just random sales that people have gotten from auto-booked appointments from generating their own leads, right? So why Facebook, right? Why do we use Facebook? Well, there's a couple reasons why. First and foremost, the leads are low cost. So you can get low cost leads on Facebook for under $10, right? They're easily scalable. So if you're writing 10 grand a month in annual premium, you can easily scale up your Facebook spend to accommodate you writing 30, 40, 50 grand a month, right? They're high quality leads, right? High quality leads come from Facebook. I mean, there's literally every single person like that's in America is on either Facebook or Instagram pretty much. So you can access billions of people across the world, specifically the US when we're talking about insurance, but you can very easily target all of them. The other thing too that's really cool is with Facebook, the average policy size is $1,200, right? $1,200 is the average policy size for leads that come from Facebook, right? So now that we've established that Facebook is the best way to get leads, let's talk about how to actually create winning ads so that you can generate those high quality leads, right? I see we got 4 people on here. As you are watching, just comment down below where you are joining in from. I'd like to see, where peeps are coming in from around the world, and I'll give you a little shout out as well. Cool. So let's talk about how to create winning ads. So whenever it comes to advertising, marketing, anything like that, there's 2 different angles or 2 different types of marketing in products, right? You have luxury products and you have pain products, right? So a luxury product, what's going on, Aaron? Calling in from Phoenix. I'm actually flying out there tomorrow morning. So luxury products, these are what you think of when you hear the word needs, or not needs, wants, right? So somebody wants a nice house, a nice car. They want, a 5-star hotel stay, right? These are luxuries. They would be nice to have, but you don't need them. You want them, right? On the flip side, we have pain products. So pain products, these are things that solve an immediate need, right? So when you think luxury, think want. When you think pain, think need, right? Very, very simple there. So what do you guys think is easier to sell? Solving pain or filling a want, right? A need or a want. What's easier to sell? Obviously, it's going to be people that are in pain or people that are in need. There's something that they know they need, right? This is why, if you guys have ever sold term or sold insurance to younger people, it's so much easier to sell insurance to older people because they have had friends and close family members die. They've had enough life experience to realize that eventually the same thing's going to happen to them, right? So people that are older, people that have that need are usually easier to sell, right? When you're selling and you're advertising something to people that are in pain, you're going to make more money. It's very simple. So how do we find pain? Well, basically, first we need to understand who our market is, right? So who are we targeting? If it's seniors, we're going to be marketing different. What are their problems, right? What are these things that keep them up at night? What are their pain points, right? These are things we need to know and understand in order to craft an ad that's going to get them to fill out the lead form, book on our calendar, and buy from us, right? So I'll give you guys like a random example here. Let's say nurses, for example. Nurses are in the hospital constantly seeing other people get sick and die, right? So it's constantly on the top of their mind, right? The same way with cops, for example. If you guys ever talk to like cops or people that were in the military or um, people that are in like FBI or whatever, they always have a jaded view on humanity. And the reason why is because they're only seeing the worst of the worst. If you talk to a trucker is on the road all the time. And guess what you see all the time when you're on the road? Accidents. So guess what you think there are tons of? Accidents, because that's all you're seeing all day. Same exact thing with nurses, right? So if you're always around sick people, you're always thinking about the risk of you getting sick, right? So if you're advertising to nurses, we want to use that to our advantage, right? So how would we advertise life insurance to nurses? Well, for example, hey, if you're a nurse, you see death and sickness every day. You know that anything can happen to you at any point in time. But what if something happens to you and you're a patient instead of a caregiver? How would your kids go about staying in the home if you could no longer work and couldn't pay bills? What would happen to your family, right? We kind of take that angle, which is like right up the alley of exactly where their mind is already at. So, if they got life insurance, they would finally be able to relax knowing that their kids would be okay if something happened to them, right? So this is kind of how we find pain. And the best way to do this is to know your avatar. Same thing with veterans, right? Here's a different example. Veterans have usually seen friends or family pass away. The angle you would take is like, hey, the VA isn't actually going to cover your funeral, right? So there's a big misconception with veterans where they think that the VA is going to pay for their whole burial, whole funeral service, whatever. Truth is, that's not the case, right? So when you present that, you create an immediate gap that they know they need to fill, because if they don't, their family is going to have to come out of pocket for their burial. So that's veterans, right? Some different angles, right? So there's basically, whenever we're talking about life insurance, we always want to find an angle, right? So who here knows what I mean when I say find an angle? Like, do you guys know what an angle actually means? You guys familiar with that term? Just comment in the comments if you know what an angle is, and just give it your best guess if you don't. So see, we got some comments coming in here. An angle is basically a way of advertising something, right? So we'll take, I got a candle burning right here. So we could take this candle, for example. I'm not going to lift it up because it's hot. But let's think about some different ways that we could sell or market a candle, right? Kind of think through this. Well, one way is, when you go to the bathroom and the bathroom smells terrible, you can light a candle, right? Like that's one way you could get somebody to have a need for a candle. Another example is, hey, when you're trying to set the mood in the bedroom, you can light a candle. There's another need or another demand, right? These are marketing to different people, because the person that needs a candle after they go to the bathroom and the person that, is like looking for a way to set the mood with their lady, there might be two different people, right? Or another thing is just people who like the smell of fall. They just want a fall candle. Those are different ways of marketing the exact same product of a candle, right? So we basically have different angles that we can sell life insurance, and even like sub angles of an angle, right? I'll give you guys an example. So a way we could market life insurance is like, hey, don't be a burden on your family, right? That's one angle. Another angle is get immediate coverage, right? So people that are getting like 2-year waits, they don't want a 2-year wait. They want something that starts day one. So get immediate coverage. Get up to $50,000 in coverage. That's another angle, right? We're selling this big, sexy number of like, wow, I could leave behind 50 grand for my family. Another one is protect your family, right? It's a little bit different, kind of a variation of don't be a burden. Instead of like the negative, we're looking at the positive. You can protect your family. Avoid your family having to start a GoFundMe, right? Have you seen all those GoFundMes over Facebook? Well, the truth is the reason you're seeing those is because when people pass away, their family's having to go raise money just to put them in the ground. Now, it's super embarrassing, but here's how you can prevent that happening to you and your family. All you need to do is click the link down below to get a free quote for life insurance that will pay for that entire burial so your family's not put into a bind, right? That's just off the dome, but that's a different angle of avoiding GoFundMe's. And then the last one, right? You guys may have seen this if you bought final expense leads in the past, is like the state approved burial fund angle where it's like, hey, the state has just approved this new fund to pay off, to get seniors free life insurance, which is just a terrible angle, but I just thought I'd throw that out there in case you guys have seen that as well. So once we find an angle, we're now going to test different variations of that angle. And guys, like these are super simple ads. I made these in Canva. And this is kind of like what our marketing team does for our clients. So we take these angles that we find, and then we literally make hundreds of variations every single week that we test. We spend our own money to test these, and then we launch the best ads for our clients. So this is kind of how the process works. We'll take an angle like, an audience like veterans, and these are different angles from that, right? So you have, hey, bad news, the VA won't pay for your funeral. Luckily, there's a new program for veterans to get up to $50,000 in life insurance coverage. No tier wait, no medical exam. Click more, learn more to see if you qualify. All right, here's another angle or another variation. If you don't have life insurance, you're taking a big risk. Luckily, there's a new program for veterans, blah, 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 blah. If you died tomorrow, how would your family pay for your funeral? So these are all variations of the same angle targeting the same audience, right? I'll give you guys some different examples with like videos, right? So these are all the same angle targeting seniors, but they're variations because the beginning of the video is different. So like you guys will see.
Don't buy life insurance before watching this video. If you were born before 1974, you need to hear this. There's a new...
Right? So that's one hook. The video you guys will see is like exactly the same. Here's another hook.
Seniors, don't skip this video.
Right? And then the video is the exact same. So it's like the beginning. This one's don't buy life insurance before watching this video. This is seniors, don't skip this video. And then this one is, and the last one is, are you willing to leave a burden on your family? So these are all different variations talking about, hey, get life insurance. And so essentially, like when you're running your own ads, you're just testing different ads constantly to find whatever's going to generate you the most leads. And that's essentially like kind of how this whole works. Right? So what questions do you guys have about how to generate the leads and like the ads before I dive into the funnel that allows you to get the pre-booked appointments? Just drop them in the comments down below, and I'm happy to answer them before I dive into the funnel. I see we got a couple people on here. If you're just jumping in, drop any questions that you have, and then also drop in where you are joining in from, where you live, and your name. I'll give you a little shout out here on the live. Cool. So I'm going to give us a couple seconds for questions, and then I'm going to go into basically kind of explaining the funnel from once you get leads and how you get them to actually book on your calendar. Okay. Cool. Chicago, Mr. Armando in. What is going on, Armando? Good to have you on here. Armando from Chicago. Do you have any questions so far? If so, drop them in the comments. And I'm going to give it about 15 more seconds, and we're going to dive into the funnel that'll show you guys how to get this pre-booked appointments. Any agencies you'd recommend for telesales? Yeah, I would recommend our agency. We're the best. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, seriously, our agency, we basically have a system where we, can help you with all of the lead generation and everything. We run ads for our clients and get them the leads and have a whole system for telesales. It's all built out. So if you have questions about that, I can also give you a link to book an appointment to learn more about it. Tampa, Florida, Junior. What's going on, man? Cool. So I'm going to dive in and show you guys kind of how the system works, the whole funnel and everything. So basically, once you guys have an ad and you're generating leads, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to send them to a form, right? So basically on this form, they put in like their name, phone number, email, date of birth, who their beneficiary would be, et cetera, right? And then from that form, we're going to send them to like a little survey that they fill out, right? So the survey is going to ask them questions like, are you married? And they're basically going to go ahead and start filling out health questions to kind of like pre-qualify themselves for the insurance. And from there, we send them to a calendar where they book directly on your calendar. So you'll have auto-booked, pre-booked appointments of people that want to speak with you. And then also we have texts and email automations that go out to these people to basically prompt them to book a call. If they don't show up to the call, we have a specific text sequence to get them back onto the call. If they end up buying a policy, we have a text sequence to basically get them to keep the policy. Like every single step in the process, you want to have automations that kind of like move people from one step to the other down the line to buy a policy and ultimately keep it, right? So again, the instant form, this is just something you have directly on Facebook. You want to have one multiple choice question and one fill in the blank question. And then after that, you're going to send them to the survey, right? So you're going to ask questions that essentially are going to help you find opportunities to sell more life insurance, right? So when someone goes out and they fill out a survey, if they tell me, hey, they're married, I know that there's 2 policies in that household, not just one, right? Which means double the money for the exact same cost of the lead. It's always good to know if they're married because you can find more sales, right? What are you looking to cover, right? So I can kind of go ahead and start in my mind coming up with, hey, what does this person need? And then do they already have life insurance? So if they already have life insurance, I'm either going to be adding coverage or replacing a policy. So we kind of get some intel first. And then we have a calendar where they can just book a time with us. And we allow them to book out 3 days max, right? Because if they book out further than 3 days, you're going to have a higher than normal no-show rate. And then we have automations. Again, this is what I was just talking about. When the lead first comes in, we text them, email them. Like we're constantly hitting these people up. If they book an appointment with you, there's texts that go out to basically prompt them to show up. If they don't show up, it prompts them to rebook. And then obviously, if you have a client, we're going to basically put in different information to like make sure that they keep their policy. And we're going to send them texts on a 180-day sequence to follow up with them. So this is kind of how the funnel looks from like a high-level overview. The Facebook ad goes to the form where they fill it out, and then they go to a landing page where you get more info. They fill in a survey, and then they book an appointment with you. Cool. And this is ultimately like when you guys execute this properly and you scale up where you're spending enough on leads, you can have a calendar that looks like this, right? All of these slots of blue are pre-booked appointments. So this is a screenshot of an agent's calendar that we worked with. Like every single one of these blue slots is a appointment, right? So imagine right now if you guys are making $500 a day on aged leads, if you got your calendar looking like this. And some of these are going to be appointments that they book themselves. Some of them are going to be appointments that you manually set. But if you're walking to a day full of appointments, you're not wondering where your next sale is coming from. That's ultimately the goal of this whole system, right? Cool. What questions do you guys have about how the system works, the Facebook ads, or anything that I've covered thus far? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to give us about 25 seconds, and then I'm going to dive on into the next part of the presentation where I'm talking about how to scale this to $20,000 a month. So any questions you guys have, going once, going twice. Drop the link. I'm inquired about it. I was told to look at other agencies. Okay, no worries. I'll have our team reach out and they can help you out. You said off topic. I'm the person who messaged you on IG. Oh shoot, what's up? What's up? So let's see. Did you say that if they don't show, there's an auto response? Yeah, there's like a email and a text sequence that basically with Cole. You probably mean Corey. If they don't show, yeah. So we have like there's a text that goes out. I think it's over the course of like 3 days that it reaches out to them to try to get them to like either text you back, letting you know like, hey, like what happened, or rebook an appointment. So it'll be like, hey, just making sure, sure something came up. Just wanted to make sure you're okay because that appointment that we had, I tried to call you but wasn't able to reach you. And then the day after that, I'll reach out. There's emails. It's pretty in like built out. Great question, Aaron. About the no-show automations. Yes, those do exist. And then what other questions do you guys have before I talk about basically like how to get to $20,000 a month doing this? All right, going once, going twice, going 3 times. Cool. So I'm going to talk about how to get to 20K a month, right? Now, I'll tell you guys the cool thing about this business is it's very, very simple, right? When it comes to selling insurance, there's not a lot of moving pieces. You have leads, you call the leads, you sell the leads, and then you sell policies. In order to get higher numbers, you just have to do more of that and better. Like it's so simple, it's the great part about this business. But for a lot of people, they get tripped up. They think that if they're selling, let's say you're selling 5K a month, maybe you're selling like 2 or 3 policies a month. Like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to get to 20K a month. They need more, better leads, and they need to make more calls, right? So I'm going to show you guys. I actually have a calculator that allows you to kind of put in what your income goal is, and then it'll show you how to get there, right? So I'm going to share this, which I just did. Junior, give me an example. What's your income goal? What are you trying to make per year selling insurance? Just let me know. Drop it in the comments if it's like 100K, 200K, 250, whatever it is. 120. Awesome. I love it. So I'm going to put in $120,000. Cool. So Junior wants to make 120K. Let's say his commission rate is at 100% if he joins our agency. Let's say out of every 5 policies he writes, 4 will stay on the books for 12 months. So 80% retention rate. Let's say he's using Facebook leads, so his average policy size is $1,200. Let's say he makes a sale every 200 dials he makes, which this is pretty standard for like a new agent. $50 PPL. I'll explain what that means in a separate training. And let's say your cost per lead is $8, right? So if you want to make 120K, you're going to need 10 leads a day. You're going to need $82 a day in ad spend. You're going to need to make 125 calls a day minimum, and you're going to write about 15K a month, right? And this is automatically calculated for you using this calculator, right? So let's say, you want to write 200 or you want to make 200K a year instead. Watch what happens to the numbers. They just go up. You just need to make more calls, get more leads, make more calls, and sell more policies. So like it's very simple. It's not like you need to do anything crazy other than just spend more on leads and make more phone calls. And that's the beautiful thing about this business is like once you guys have a system that's working, which like you guys need a system that works, let me know because we have one that crushes it. All you have to do to make more is just do more. It's so simple. I can't stress that enough how simple it is. You just increase the numbers, increase the input, and the output should follow. What questions do you guys have about that? Because like whenever I do this presentation, when it comes to like scaling to 20K a month, like the answer is like 2 things: more leads, more phone calls. and referrals, that kind of stuff. And that's pretty much all it takes. Like if you can sell 5K a month, you can sell 20K a month. It's not that hard. So cool. What questions do you guys have about writing more business, how the system works, how to generate leads, anything like that? I'm happy to answer. And then, yeah. Let's see. Is this with using your lead generation system? Yeah. So these are all numbers based off of like if you were generating your own leads, and like just to kind of make the point, right? Let's say if you're buying leads, you're probably going to pay an average of like, $20 a lead. Let me just show the contrast, right? So this is why I recommend people to do their own leads is like, the quality's good is the first piece. And then the second piece is just like the cost, right? So Junior wants to make 120K. If he's paying $8 a lead on average, like generating his own, these are the numbers, right? Now, if he's paying $20 a lead and he's buying leads, now instead of spending $80 a day, you have to spend $300 a day, and you need to write basically double the amount of annual premium to make the same amount of money, which is why it's so powerful to basically do your own leads. You have full control of the whole system. And if you work with us, like we run all of the ads for you as well, so you don't have to do any of the marketing. But yeah, that's why like generating your own, the cost just far outweighs anything else from what I've seen personally. So great question. What other questions do we have? And then, by the way, if you guys, if anyone wants the link to basically learn more about what we do and how you can potentially have us, we run the ads for all of our clients so that they can generate their own leads without having to like become a marketer. Like we spend thousands of dollars a month on creatives, all that kind of stuff, and basically run all the ads for you so that all you have to do is focus on selling. So if you guys want to learn more about that, I'll drop a link down below. And yeah, let's see. Junior, what was your question? You said got confused with what the $200 were. That's just phone calls, right? So you just make 200 outbound phone calls. We use a power dialer with our system. So basically the way it works is you call 3 numbers at once, and then it locally wraps the phone numbers so that it increases your answer rate. So for example, you said you are in Tampa, Florida. Oh man, hopefully you're okay with that hurricane. I'm sure you guys got pretty intense situation there. But besides the point, I'm in North Carolina right now. If I call you and you're in Tampa, my phone number will show up as a Tampa area code, even though I have a North Carolina area code. So that allows you to just, you get in contact with way more people. And you can also call 3 numbers at the same time. So you're just way more efficient in terms of reaching people. So yeah, that's how we do dials. What other questions you guys have? I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna jump off here. And yeah, what questions do you guys have? Let's see. Aaron Holland said, "Does the lead cost go down with more states?" Yes, it does. So with the states, there's like 5 states that I recommend. I can drop a video that I made about the best states, worst states. But yeah, I mean, like the more states you have in general, the lower cost your leads. But what matters more, because like if you guys think about it, in the US, we have like 50 states, but 30% of people live in like 3 or 4 states. So somebody with 5 states could actually have more people in their audience than somebody that has, like someone with 5 states, again, could have some more people in their audience than somebody with like 30 states. So it matters more about which states you have than just the volume of states, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Aaron says, so with your system, you get booked appointments and leads to call. Yeah, exactly. So there's percentage of the leads that will book appointments on your calendar. They go through that whole funnel. And then there's also, you get flooded with just tons of leads, right? Like I could just show you guys just in the last few days. We have a guy who he was doing face-to-face. His name is Travis. We just did like a YouTube video about him, but he sold 10K over the phone his first week using the system. I'll just show you here. Like this guy just closed a deal, $1,394. This is yesterday, $391. This guy had $1,000 day, $550. Here's another policy. I mean, you guys can see like agents just writing tons of business just in the last few days. So yeah. Definitely works. How does this offer compare with getting coached on how to do all the ads yourself and generating all leads in-house? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Johnny does, but I don't know that much about his offer. I can tell you this, though. We trained him on how to do Facebook ads. So, like, you can go back on our YouTube channel. We're the ones that like showed him how to do ads and basically gave him this whole like system of what to do. And then from my understanding, he just shows you how to do it. With ours, we do everything for you. Like you don't have to do any of the marketing. Our marketing team does it all. So if I were an agent personally, right, and I'm just thinking about the time, right, and this is not saying anything ill about anyone else. One of the biggest things that I've heard in terms of feedback from agents we work with is they just like the amount of focus they can put just towards selling because they don't have to do any marketing, right? There's like you don't have to do the lead gen. You don't have to come up with creatives and ads. Like our team does it all for you. We run everything and you just get the leads. So for me, like as an agent, that's what I would want because like you can either be decent at a bunch of things or like great at one thing. And as an agent, you just need to be great at selling policies. So that's, a big thing that a lot of our clients like is they just don't have to do any of it. It's just all done for them. So one last, I'm contracted with someone now, but I can still use your system. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Even if you have contracts with someone else. I mean, we only like contract with people that are using our system, right? At least right now, like if someone wants to contract with us, they're going to be using our system, right? But it's not like everyone using our system has to be contracted with us, if that makes sense. Is this better than FFL? I work with agents from FFL. It's just like, this is a lead generation system. FFL is like, they're just an agency, and a lot of times they'll sell. They have different options for leads, but I know their main thing is like aged leads, from my understanding. But yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about FFL, but I can tell you this: I've never seen any system for final expense work better than this. Right? Crazy low cost leads. The whole like. And obviously I'm the one that created the system. So sure, I have the best things to say about it, but you just look on our channel. You'll see other people are killing it with the same system. But yeah, what carriers do we have? I recommend SBLI, Royal Neighbors, Transamerica, Mutual of Omaha, AIG, and American Amicable. Those are like the 7 that we use most of the time. The leads will all be personalized with your service. Obviously, FCC crackdown on buying bulk leads. Yeah, they're run on your Facebook account, so they go directly into your CRM and everything. So they're all FCC compliant. It's a super big thing for everybody nowadays. So you have your lead generation system, but also an agency. Yeah, so like if somebody needs contracts, they can just get contracts with us. The biggest thing for us is like right now, our main focus is like the lead generation offer because we're doing that for all of our clients. So, I mean, eventually in the future, we'll probably have the option where you could just get contracted us and do your own thing. But for right now, everyone that has contracts with us is also a client of the lead gen system, right? I don't want to get like too in the weeds on that, but basically, like, our ultimate goal is we want to build like the next big IMO, like scale to 100 million. But right now, our main focus is like lead generation. So we're like the best at that, and yeah. So like my main focus is providing the best service to all of our clients, and then in the future, potentially offer contracts to people that do that. So if I want to move my contract over from my current IMO, I can do that. Yeah, I mean, if you're using our system, I know you're talking about looking at Johnny or us, like, we can get you on a call with our team and they can kind of walk you through how it works. And if you do it with us, yeah, we can hook you up with contracts too. We just put everyone at 100 point contract. But yeah, I'll drop the link again if anyone missed it. You guys can just book a time with our team. This will go. So the link I'm sending is like an opt-in. So it'll show you a video that talks more about how the system works. Full transparency, when you put your email in there, I would definitely email you, but that's the nature of things. And then there'll be a video that explains more about how it works. And then after the video, you can just book a call with our team. But it's good to always have context before you dive in. So why did you shift your focus from building a $100 million agency to coaching in the short term? That's a great question. So the reason why is because a lot of people, like, if you're going to build an agency, there's going to be a lot of people that you'll work with that don't do anything, right? Like, there's 16 people on this call. If all of you joined my agency, chances are like 2 or 3 of you would actually work, right? Maybe all 16 or now 17 people on this call are like the exception, and you guys would jump in and just go at it. But most of the time in the insurance industry, and really just with things in general, most people that join an agency or join an opportunity or whatever, they just don't even do anything, which is crazy, right? So for me, as someone that has like a system that is valuable and produces crazy results, if I'm working with people that are paying me to use our system, they're going to be more invested in making it work, meaning that I'm only spending my time helping people that are serious, right? I'm getting compensated for helping people, which, I mean, realistically, we're in capitalism. That makes sense. And the people that pay to use our system are more serious agents. So if I offer contracts to those people, they're more likely to actually take action, right? And they're also less likely to leave you with a bunch of roll-up debt. Like, if someone's willing to invest in themselves, usually they're a higher caliber person than a lot of these like MLMs will just recruit anybody with a pulse, right? So hopefully that makes sense. I'm kind of explain a little bit more on that, but that's kind of like my philosophy is, at least in the beginning, if I can only work with top quality people that are willing to invest in themselves, and everyone that's at our agency I know has a killer system, it's just a better way to start, and then in the future, probably clients that join our system now that want to build agencies, they'll just be like the people on the ground floor of the IMO, and then we'll just build under them. Deanne Newton, how much are your leads? That's a good question. Our average client, because we don't sell leads, right? Our average client gets leads from Facebook for $8.36. Last I checked, we keep a tally for all of our clients. So I think right now we're running ads for about 50. I think we have like 50 clients right now. Across all 50 of them, the average client pays $8.36 for an exclusive, fresh Facebook lead. So I could leave where I'm at and work with you. Yes, you could. As long as your agency will release you. Yeah. And if it makes sense for both of us, yeah, we can definitely talk about that. Best thing, honestly, guys, is like book a link, book a book a call at that link, and then you guys can talk with Julian, my business partner, or we have another guy on the team named Chaz, who's super cool. You can kind of explain how everything works. What's the benefit to building an IMO as opposed to scaling an agency within an IMO? There's not really any benefit, but I want to own the IMO instead of me personally, right? Like, I'm kind of crazy. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, for most people, I would just build an agency within an IMO. But for me, like, I don't know. I just have like very, very big goals. Like, I'm trying to be maybe not. I mean, a billionaire would be cool. I want to be a billionaire, or at least like 100 millionaire. So I gotta go a little bit further, right? Like, I just want to start the IMO, right? I'm trying to be like, if you guys know who Patrick Bet-David is, not that I want to start a PHP like agency, but I want to build an agency that's like very large size, and then potentially get an exit in the future for like hundreds of millions of dollars. That's my ultimate goal, full transparency. And we got a really, really, really solid team, and some really cool people on board, and that's our goal. And yeah, it's the biggest exit you've heard of for an agency built using broker model. I think Patrick Bet-David sold his agency for like $300 million. There's a lot of money. So there might be bigger ones, but that's the biggest I know. Biggest I've heard of. But yeah, that's our goals. We're trying to build a very, very big agency. I think Symmetry is worth $1 billion or something. But yeah, we're trying to build a really big agency. Maybe, offer equity to people that help us grow it. Like, that's our ultimate goal. So yeah, I think honestly, like, the traditional agency model, like if you look at a lot of what these guys are doing, it's very like nobody's using social media to the full capabilities, right? Nobody is using social media to build an IMO or to like generate leads for life insurance. So our whole game is going to be like using tech, AI, social media, all that kind of stuff to like scale. That's our whole deal. Carrie said, sorry, did I miss? Did you mention the cost for the system? No, everything we do is custom. So you just have to book a call and they would kind of put together a custom plan for you. Paste the link again if you want it there. But cool, guys. I got to jump here. Appreciate all of y'all for jumping on. We do this every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'll see you guys next Wednesday for the same kind of thing. We can do a Q&A. I'll talk about lead generation, whatever you guys want. Let me know also, like, what would be the most valuable for you guys for us to talk about on these lives? Because ultimately, usually Julian's on here as well, but these live streams are for you. So whatever you guys need or want help with or have questions about, let us know, and we're happy to help. Also, if you guys aren't already in the free school community, we put a ton of free value in there. There's a whole course that shows you how to make 6 figures selling insurance. So this is also entirely free. So if you aren't already in the school, join on in. And yeah, guys, I'll catch y'all later. Enjoy your Wednesday afternoon. I got to get up early for an early flight. So I'll see y'all soon. Take care.